Hey coders, I am here in Xcode and I am here to show you some of the behavior of Xcode when you're creating shapes and changing their attributes, including color. You can see I have Xcode open and I have the simulator open and there's no code running. These are all just comments. So when I hit play, the default color in the background is white. So the first thing we're going to do in this video is we're going to change the background. And I have little comments here to guide me and so I don't go astray and lose track of what I'm supposed to be doing here. So the background is going to be blue. So to access the background, we're going to first type self dot. And you'll notice the dot is going to be really useful. Every time you hit dot, it's going to give you a list of the attributes. When I say self, it's actually referring to this workspace. So the attribute that I'm looking for is canvas. I'm going to hit the dot again, and I want an attribute of the canvas, which is background color. And the simplest way to change the color to blue is just to type in blue, because C4 has these convenience keywords that you can type in that just refer to their colors. And I'm going to hit play real quick so you can see that that worked. And there you go. We got a blue background. So that's successful. I'm going to comment this out with 2 forward slashes, and I'm going to say, let's do it a different method. And let's do it in a method, say you have a color that's really specific that you've gotten from Photoshop or whatever color selector that you have found. You can use the color initializer. And there are a lot of different initializers here. The one that I recommend you using is the one with the INT red, green, and blue. That is the easiest to use. It's what Photoshop kind of looks like, and so if you're using colors from Photoshop, this is going to make sense to you. So color red INT. So for blue, it would be 0, 0, 255. And alpha is just a double is just a number with a decimal point, and alpha is the transparency. We don't want a transparent background, so we want it to be solid. Alpha is a range from 0 to 1.0, and so we want to put 1.0 there. All right, let's just confirm that that worked. There we go, we got our blue background. Next, we're going to create our first line, and we'll do that by using the let keyword to create a constant. And I'm going to call it my line. Again, you could call it anything, equals the line initializer. And I'm going to use the begin and end point. And I want it to go from the upper left-hand corner to the lower right-hand corner. So I'm going to use the point initializer, and I'm going to use this int one, 0, 0. That's the upper left-hand corner. And I'll show you a trick to do the lower right-hand corner. We're going to go point, and I'll use the int one again. And I'm going to say canvas.width for the X position. That's going to take me all the way to the right side. And then for the Y position, I'm going to say canvas.height. And that's going to take me all the way down to the bottom lower right hand corner. So that is that. And remember, creating lines in C4 is a multi-step process. I want to change the color of it. So my line, the period allows me to access its attributes. And I'm going to use a stroke color because lines only have stroke color. They do not have fills. And I'm just going to say white for simplicity's sake. And then I'm going to add it to the canvas. So canvas.add, and add is a function that's attached to the canvas object. And it sort of already suggests my line, which is kind of cool. Xcode can be pretty smart. So let's test that out and see if that worked. There you have it. We got our line. So next, I want to go over the idea of an array. This is just an introduction to it. It's one of the most useful things in coding. An array is just a collection of objects of the same type. And creating an array, like anything else, you just create a constant. And the main thing with arrays is whenever you see them, you're going to see open and close square brackets, and then everything inside of the array goes inside of it. So I'm going to put 4 points inside of this array, and then I'm going to create a polygon out of it. I'm I'm just going to kind of guesstimate where these points are, so the polygon might not be pretty, but let's see what I can do. So point, and I'm going to say 100, 100, comma. You separate each value in the array with a comma. Point, let's say 175, 25. No. Point, let's say 300, 350, and 180. Again, I have no idea if this is going to be pretty or what, but it's just 4 random points. Create a polygon from that array. So the cool thing about polygons, I'm just going to call it my poly equals. So the initializer for it is the one that I would use is this one. So points, point, and all we have to do is just write my array, and we already have our array that we can feed into it. I'm going to change the fill color. My poly dot color equals, I'm just going to say red for convenience sake, and then remember we've got to add it to the canvas. So canvas dot add my poly. All right, so that seems like it should work. Let's test it out. You never know. If we have to debug, we have to debug. And there you go. We have our blue background with our white line and our red polygon over it. I actually kind of like the way it looks. But the thing I would notice is that the order that you add something to the canvas matters. It's just like a painting. So we added the line first, so that line is underneath the red polygon. So I hope you enjoy creating and making with code, and I will see you in the next video.